stretch. How do the Nighthawks get back to winning football?
Well, first of all, let me say happy Mother's Day, early Mother's Day to all the moms out there. And listen, there's nothing more than a mom wants than to see her son do his thing. So you asked me a question. How do they get back on track? They just have to make plays. They have to be more efficient on offense and defense, especially on third downs. Talked to Coach before the game. They're not far away. They want to get back on track tonight.
One thing Coach Mike Davis really likes about his team, it's the quartet of wide receivers that have really anchored the offense. One of those wideouts is injured tonight in Frank Brown, but as we take a look at the stats from the other three, Quentin Randolph, he's back with the team this week. He's among the top 5 receivers in overall yardage in the IFL. Caleb Holly tied for the league lead with 10 receiving touchdowns. And Jordan McCray, who was the team's leading wide receiver last year, now that he's back to full health after missing the first couple weeks of the year with injury, has been another bright spot as well. And Sean, so far, you look at the 6'6" product out of Oklahoma State, 4 receiving touchdowns in just 3 games.
And you mentioned it, 6'6". For a quarterback, what that means, Ben, catch radius. That means I don't have to be accurate all the time when I'm throwing the ball to a player like Jordan McCray. Long arms, long linear frame can make you right even when the pass says I was wrong.
And it's a player in Jordan McCray. You see some of his highlights from a season ago. He only played in 9 games. It was still the Nighthawks' leading wide receiver, 13 touchdowns overall. He is the Nighthawk active touchdown leader from the wide receiver position, 17 receiving touchdowns now in 12 games.
Yeah, the young kids call that getting mossed.
That's what I've been told, so to speak. As we send it down to our reporter for the first time, Mariah Jano, she had a chance to catch up with the head coach, Mike Davis, as he gives his thoughts on the wide receiver production so far.
Yeah, you guys, it's no question that these receivers have been so fun to watch so far this season. And just moments ago, I did catch up with head coach Mike Davis on his receiving corps and how beneficial they have been to this team.
It's been good, it's unfortunately, I guess we only have one football, so you got to be strategic in how you get guys the ball, and for us, we just got to be efficient once we get the ball.
Now, defense has been a bit of a struggle as of late. No Byron Cooper tonight, no Kez Jackson. What kind of adjustments are you guys making heading into this one?
It's next man up mentality. We got a group of 25 guys in here, and we don't solely rely on one person, and the next guy's got to step up and make some plays.
Now the defense does need to come out strong tonight as this Arizona team is fast and they've got their star quarterback Drew Powell back in the lineup. So it's certainly going to be interesting to see how this defense matches up against him, guys.
You're totally right, Mariah, and it's a former MVP quarterback. Drew Powell has been named league MVP each of the last 2 seasons. Really interesting spot tonight, Sean, since this is his first game back since week 2.
Yeah, I mean, the lefty can spin it, too. I spent about 15 minutes in pregame just watching him throw the football. And, he has great velocity on it, great touch, and total command of everything going on. The intangibles are there. The talent is there. He just exudes the kind of person that will be back-to-back MVP.
Drew Powell, 23-3 in the regular season as a starter in his time with the Arizona Rattlers. He also gets his leading wide receiver Braxton Haley back from injured reserve as well tonight. Should be a fun one inside the Down the Loan Center. It's the Rattlers and the Nighthawks Western Conference positioning up for grabs when we return. For Nighthawks and Rattlers back inside the Dollar Loan Center on a beautiful night for football in the Las Vegas Valley. And moments ago, our sideline reporter Mariah Janos had a chance to catch up with Nighthawk wide receiver Jordan McCray.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with receiver Jordan McCray. Jordan, you led the team as a receiver last season. Obviously, this season didn't start out the way you wanted, being on the IR, but you're officially back. What has it just been like being back with this team and gelling with the guys?
It's been great. It's a blessing to be back. You know, nobody wants to go through injury, but we're here, we're healthy, and we're ready to rock out as a team, as a unit.
Now you guys have two exceptional quarterbacks that Coach Davis seems to really enjoy, just giving you guys reps with both of them. What's been the challenge, though, of getting reacclimated with two different guys?
It really hasn't been too much of a challenge. When you have great quarterbacks, they just put it out, you go get it, and you just gel like that. We have great chemistry off the field, so it's been really easy.
Now, playing professional football runs in your family. Your dad played at Alabama. Your uncle played in the NFL. What is it like for you just to kind of continue on that legacy and keep playing the game?
Yeah, it means everything. I've been running routes since 5-6 years old, so for me right now, I'm just putting my head down and trying to get to the highest level I can and make every play I can.
And coming in as a receiver, what is it about this Rattlers defense that you're keeping in mind going into this game?
Yeah, they're a great team. Can't take anything away from them. We have, I think, one of the best cores in the league, and we're going to have to go out there and show it tonight.
All right, thank you so much. Good luck.
No doubt. Thank you.
Thanks to Mariah Janos and for Jordan McCray for joining us pregame. Beautiful night, ready for some football on this Mother's Day weekend. It is Women's Appreciation Night inside the Dollar Loan Center, giving out flowers to the first 1,000 women and girls in the building tonight. Fans still filing in. It is week 8 in the IFL, game number 7 for both the Vegas Nighthawks and Arizona Rattlers. And a really cool moment here at midfield. Sergeant Lisa Reynolds has been an 18-year member of the Henderson Police Department. She is doing the honorary coin toss with our head official, Gary Reed. You gotta love the pomp and circumstance, Sean. It should be a very good crowd tonight. Topped 5,000 fans, the last home game for the Nighthawks. As we take a look at our opening coin toss inside. And there is head coach and GM Mike Davis. I know there's pomp and circumstance. He has been a stressed man, though, as you would imagine. Sean losing 2 straight games. He really wants to get his team off the losing streak and get back in the win column.
Yeah, he does. What's interesting, you saw how beautiful it looked outside. It feels better. The weather is unbelievable here in Vegas. And Coach Davis wants to enjoy it. The only way he can really get out and enjoy what Vegas is offering right now is for this team to get back on track. The way they do that, efficiency. We're going to see right from the beginning. He wants them to be efficient, especially on third down, Ben. Got to be able to pick up third downs on offense and then get off the field on defense when the other team gets in those same situations.
It'll be that Nighthawk offense starting with the ball right away, and you consider the brief history between the two teams since this is only the second season of Nighthawk football. Sean, Nighthawks trying to reverse the fortunes from last year when the Rattlers came in here. Week 4, led 26-0 in the first half and rolled to a 67-20 win. Have to think that's on the minds, especially the returners coming back from last year for Vegas.
Well, you know, they say if you look good, Ben, you feel good, you play good. The uniforms look tremendous. They get a 6'6" target and Jordan McCray back. This outstanding catching the ball. Quentin Randolph has been, an unbelievable free agent acquisition that's really helped the team excel. I'm looking forward to it. Daquan Neal, he was confident in pregame. He wants to get himself back on track. You know, we're going to get a chance to see here early, where the young quarterback is, because it looks like the Nighthawks get the ball first.
Indeed, they are. Arizona Rattlers making the trip from Phoenix. A lot of visiting fans for arguably the most successful franchise in indoor history. They have 6 titles between the AFL and IFL, but off to a tough 3-3 start, set to get their star quarterback and wide receiver back tonight. As we're ready to go, it's a short chip that Caleb Holly fields the up man, and great starting field position to begin as kicker Craig Peterson tried to just chip that right over the first wall of the Nighthawks, and Holly was ready for it. First and goal to go as we get our opening play of scrimmage.
And you know what? We're probably going to get an opportunity to see a young man that I've been waiting to see. Sap Lynch does a great job. He's out tonight at running back. So the first time this year we get to see Darius Geis. High draft pick coming out of LSU, was a phenomenal college player. Coach Davis wants to see that talent still exists inside of Mr. Geis.
And his quarterback, Daquan Neal, 3rd game back from injury, 9 touchdowns, just 1 interception over the last 2 weeks. Darius Geis on his right hip set to make his Nighthawk debut. It is Geis, first handoff of the game, and Geis gets inside the 5. The former LSU star who was just the 4th running back in SEC history with multiple 250-plus yard rushing games, then was a second-round draft pick by the then Washington Redskins back in 2018, but only lasted 1 year in the league, had some off-the-field issues. His first game tonight, Sean, since 2019.
He was known for being very difficult to tackle in space. You see, he breaks 2 tackles there, took the 3rd defender to ultimately get him down.
Just activated off short-term IR Thursday. You mentioned Devontae Sapp-Lynch out injured tonight. 2nd and goal at the 1. Back to Geis. Up the middle. Drives and is in. Perfect start for the Nighthawks. The 1-yard plunge for Darius Geis, and on the first occasion the Nighthawks enter the prime real estate red zone presented by Knight Realty. It's a nice way to get your feet back into it, Sean King, after a nearly 4-year absence from organized football. Darius Geis on his 2nd carry finds the end zone.
And if you see it, the Rattlers, they do a good job. They have exactly what they want, but I mean, Justin Thomas just can't make the tackle. Darius Geis, unbelievable yards after the contact was what he was known for. You saw 2 examples of that. As you mentioned, great way for the Hawks to start this contest.
Stevie Artigue drills the PAT. That's a very positive development for Artigue, who struggled a bit the last couple weeks, missed 2 PATs last week in a loss at Bay Area. So the Nighthawks take advantage of that short squib attempt on the kickoff. Only need 2 plays, go 8 yards for the TD. We talk about having a spark too, Sean. You've lost a couple games, and Nighthawks have not been doing much running of the ball, but they've changed that here.
It's all about field position. You know, you get a guy, a talent like Geis back. You know, if that ball is kicked deep, you probably don't see him. You know, you prioritize early in the game like that, but, you know, because of the field position, it makes sense. You get him confidence. You get points on the board. It was a great start for Coach Davis.
First game since December 8th, 2019, when Geis carried the ball 5 times for Washington at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. So I believe, Sean, the first player ever to go from playing a game at Lambeau Field to the Popular Home Center.
It's been a while, man. It's got to feel good for Darius. You know, I believe in redemption. I believe in second chances. I believe in guys getting an opportunity to get it right. And, you know, this has got to be great for him. Finally healthy and to be productive immediately.
How about that snap? So Arizona basically pulling a trick out of the Nighthawks book, and it's taken all the way back. Devontae Merriweather with the quick hands snatches it out of midair. 10-yard return touchdown, and the Rattlers need 10 seconds to respond. There's a reason Devontae Merriweather was named first-team All-IFL last year. It was for his defense, but he proves here his hands are pretty good too.
Well, for anybody watching IFL for the first time, I mean, Ben, this is what makes it so great. Like, it's just action-packed, start to finish. I mean, how much actual game time has the clips off the clock? And we already have 2 touchdowns.
2 plays from scrimmage, Sean, and 2 combined touchdowns. Merriweather had a pick 6 in this building against the Nighthawks last year. And Arizona goes for 2. Powell, the handoff, tight play near the pylon, and waiting for the signal on the give to Jamal Miles. They say, still waiting on an official signal.
On the field, extra point's good. Media timeout.
It is good. Very close play down the near side, but Jamal Miles just very barely gets in on the 2-point conversion attempt. Little jet sweep from Drew Powell to Miles, and it's Arizona who gets the response. The 12-yard kick return touchdown by Devontae Merriweather, eluding defenders all over the place. Miles brings it in for 2, and we're off and rolling. 8-7 Arizona Rattlers on top of the Vegas Nighthawks. We usually suggest people don't miss any action in the IFL because things happen fast. Well, we have run 2 plays from scrimmage, 2 touchdowns, and now Mr. Harriel picks up the ball on his own end, and it's the first time either team will have the ball inside their own territory. Nighthawks with the ball back. Rattlers 8, Nighthawks 7. So we've only seen 2 plays on the Nighthawks side, Sean, each handoffs, and as we get set to take a look at the Nighthawks starters, we'll see if this now, from the starting field position being back inside the own 15-yard line, is where we do get to see DeQuan Neal air it out to his trio of weapons.
And you can see Coach Davis, he actually is talking to DeQuan there, making sure they're on the same page. You want to get your quarterback some confidence. You know, his confidence has kind of been wavering a little bit, but the talent is there.
New addition to the offensive line this week, Corey Woodruff was just signed on Tuesday, and he has been inserted in the starting lineup, replacing Lou Chandler, who is active, will come off the bench tonight. Isaac Jackson and Moses Mallory have started all 7 games at the O-line. Neal, quick throw, and welcome back. Quentin Randolph was away from the team last week. Great to see him back, and he's a guy, Sean, through the first 5 games of the year, 3rd in the IFL in receiving yards per game.
Yeah, baller, very simple. I mean, some of the contested catches he's made this year, some of the runs after the catch, and he's made just a tremendous football player, Quentin.
10-yard pickup from DeQuan Neal to Quentin Randolph. Second drive for the Nighthawks, who trail 8-7. There's a look at the head coach and GM, Mike Davis. You see the coaches, they are allowed to have one coach stand on the field, both offensive and defensive play callers. You also see all those forward men in motion. Neal feeling the blitz. He can't get rid of it. And the newest member of the Arizona Rattlers, Cecil Cherry, I mean, you know very well, Sean King, makes the big play.
You know, it's interesting, Ben. Every game, I think some other young man that I recruited out of high school shows up. Cecil Cherry is a young man playing for us down in South Florida. Outstanding talent. You know, you see that's just a good job of tracking the hip. You know, it's not easy to sack DeQuan Neal because he is an elite athlete himself, but I think Cecil said he got here Wednesday of this week, so what an introduction to Rattler Nation.
And he is the nephew of one of your former teammates, the Hall of Fame defensive lineman Warren Sapp.
He is?
Not a bad position to be linebacker, and he wears number 52 because his godfather is the Hall of Fame linebacker Ray Lewis. Quite a big name to try and live up to, but a 16-yard sack for Cecil Cherry. Neal again under pressure, tries to take off. Neal lowers the shoulder. Cherry again in on that stop. This time Neal able to pick up 6 yards as he's also brought down by Jaravian Anderson Sr. along with Cherry. And some very late laundry. Actually just an injury as we get a stoppage here down on the field.
You know, when you meet DeQuan before the game, Ben, he's a well put together young man. So tackling him isn't easy, especially for those defensive backs. And Jaravian Anderson Sr., he just found out, you know, this isn't your normal quarterback.
DeQuan Neal listed at 6'2", 215, but that's a hefty, muscle-packed 215 for DeQuan Neal.
Yeah, he looks like I used to look.
How do you look now, Sean?
Well, I tell everybody I had hair and abs at one point, Ben. Now I'm bald with a belly.
You're on TV next to me, so it's all worked out, I guess.
Absolutely.
They'll have to escort Anderson. Now, there's a look at DeQuan Neal. This is his 5th start of the season, 18 touchdown passes to 4 interceptions. And enters today, despite missing 2 games, tied for 4th in the IFL in pass touchdowns, top 10 in yardage as well. But he and the Nighthawks face a 3rd and 20 after a 16-yard sack on first down.
There's some commonalities as you get to become familiar with the IFL. 3rd and long and 3rd and 20, that's nothing. That's kind of a normal thing in some games. Seems to be some confusion early on alignment, though. Something to watch, maybe.
You're totally right, because the Nighthawks were not set. Early movement as a result. They had to hurry with the play clock down to 2.
Offense number 53, 52, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
And that was the center, Isaac Jackson, who twitched a little bit. You see Gary Reed, our head official tonight, making the call. Nighthawks move even further back, now 3rd and 25, as they trail 8-7 here nearing the midway mark of the first quarter. Mike Davis, he's not just head coach, he's a GM, he's the offensive play caller. He has such a big hand in everything that the Nighthawks do, but he admitted it's been frustrating to see the team get behind the sticks. Defense has struggled. As a result, offense has been playing from behind, and they're trying to avoid that here with a 3rd and forever. Neal from the empty set. Takes a deep shot, looking for it all, and it's caught! Malik Honeycutt for 6. We mentioned in the open, Sean, 4 really good wide receivers. We didn't even mention Malik Honeycutt.
And football can be a strange game at times. Not a great decision, not a great throw, but a tremendous play at the end of it. You know, the DB misjudges it. And hey, man, sometimes you gotta let your playmakers make plays, and that's what you saw right there. And sparks start fires. I truly believe that. That one completion for a touchdown, big play, can change the whole narrative as it surrounds a player, specifically the quarterback.
Just the second catch for Malik Honeycutt, his first professional touchdown as our Teague boots the PAT. And guess what? He made that catch over the former Nighthawk DB, Javon Jackson, who was cut by the team on April 11th, signed by the Rattlers 8 days later, as you get another look.
The pride of Murray State, Malik Honeycutt making plays. And they needed that. You can see the energy already kind of, penalty on 3rd and long, makes it 3rd and longer. You know, that erases anything negative that just happened. Now we can get everything moving in the right direction. Everybody rowing the boat down the same river. It's such a game of swings and momentum shifts. And, that definitely was something that Vegas needed.
There's a look at Malik Honeycutt. He's done a lot as far as just the general role to be filled, because he came in expecting to compete for a wide receiver job, Sean. We talked about how deep and how talented the Nighthawks' top wide receivers are, so the coach moved him to DB. He's basically been a rotating two-way player this year, and this is only the 3rd game he's even seen snaps on offense. And here you go, 40-yard bomb on the second offensive drive of the game.
Well, Ben, here's what I know. The more you can do, the harder it is for them to get rid of you.
That's not a bad mantra to live by, especially in the indoor football league, as the Nighthawks take a 14-8 lead on top of the Arizona Rattlers at the 7:08 mark of the first quarter. Stevie R. Teague back in good form. Missed a couple PATs last week, but he's 2 for 2 so far. We'll go with that low squib kick as it takes a high hop, fielded by Isaiah Houston deep, and a solid return to about his own 20 as a late flag comes in from behind.
Yeah, you're going to get clipping here on the Rattlers. Good job by Harrell right there, really hustling to get down the field.
Blocking it back from the 24 on the return team. Half the distance to go. First down.
Penalty on Arizona, and it's on Javon Jackson. Tough sequence for the former Nighthawk. Gets beat for the big play, then called for that block in the back. As the Rattlers come back onto the field, down by 6 early. And here's another look at that block in the back.
Yeah, that was a good call. The Rattlers take the ball, obviously the most accomplished player in the game is Rattler quarterback Drew Powell, back-to-back IFL MVP. It's rare 22 points was scored. We hadn't seen him throw a pass yet.
Here is his first pass. Powell with all day over the middle has Jamal Miles, the former Arizona State Sun Devil, has caught 62 combined touchdowns, both catching, rushing, returning in his now 5-year Rattler career, and makes a big play.
And that was all about Brandon Smith, J.J. Coleman, and Cole Carter. Those are 3 offensive linemen. As you mentioned it, he went through every read in that specific scheme. Great job up front of giving their quarterback protection.
And allowing the Rattlers to give themselves some space after starting inside the 10. Drew Powell, first game since week 2 at Bay Area. Keeps it himself. This is what he does best, but is planted by another new member of the Nighthawks. Matt Elam was just re-signed this week. Played 1 game for the Nighthawks last year, and the former first-round draft pick of the Baltimore Ravens makes the stop.
I actually coached Matt in high school on a 7-on-7, Team Tampa. Shout out to everybody from Team Tampa.
There we go.
Listen, that team was loaded with big-time guys, and Mr. Elam, who ultimately went to the University of Florida, was one of those players. His brother Kyer was the first-round pick last year, of the Buffalo Bills.
You're right on that.
Older brother Abe played at Notre Dame in college, so family's full of good football players and great athletes.
Second down throw on 2nd and 8 comes short, and it's Jamal Miles' second catch already, with the Vegas product Tony Wallace making the stop, setting up a 3rd and about 4 for Arizona as we cross the 5-minute mark. Rattlers with the ball, down 14-8 to the Nighthawks. And with Elam being signed, he only played a game last year for the Nighthawks, spent most of the year on the CFL's exempt list. So tonight, Matt Elam and Darius Geis, those are players 2 and 3 in Nighthawk history with NFL regular season experience. Elam playing linebacker tonight. 3rd and 4. Powell pumps, hits, stays alive, and goes down. Macario Carmelo Stanley able to rein in Drew Powell after he got around Matt Elam.
And I think that was the outdoor football in Matt. You know, they're so protective of the quarterbacks in outdoor football. Watch, he kind of, you know, didn't want to take the shot on the quarterback. But he'll learn. He'll learn.
Elam has been moved to linebacker tonight because Nighthawks leading tackler Quez Jackson is out, just placed on short-term IR. As the fans come to their feet, there's a look at Kevin Guy. Also the team president has led Arizona to 4 different titles as he looks on. 4th and 4 Arizona. Powell feels the pressure, heaves for the end zone, caught! Braxton Haley, touchdown on 4th down.
In the words of Stuart Scott, Drew Powell, cool as the other side of the pillow. Matt Elam, same blitz they brought on the previous play, breathing down his neck. He did not panic, stayed in the pocket, cool when everything was chaotic. And watch the ball placement, Ben. Watch this ball. You could have caught this one, Ben.
Are you sure about that?
Oh, absolutely. I've seen you in pregame. More athletic than you think. I mean, that's just a great pass and catch right there. And Braxton Haley, another guy, big-time player. You know, first team All-IFL last year, been out with injury. Rattler Nation has to be excited that their best players are finally healthy and able to contribute.
Again, Arizona goes for 2. Powell and Haley linked up for 21 TDs last year. Powell with time, had a man wide open, and he missed him out of the backfield. Morian Walker Jr. was left all alone in the flat. Powell can't hit him, and as a result, it's a tie game. But on 4th down, the Rattlers get 6. Drew Powell to Braxton Haley. The dynamic duo back for the Rattlers, and they've tied the game 14 apiece with 3:01 to go in the first. A look at the second-year head coach and GM Mike Davis, seeing his team in a 14-14 tie. He told us, Sean King, this was a huge 2-week stretch in general for the Nighthawks at 2-4, but all teams in the Western Conference within 2 games of each other, taking on 3-3 Arizona tonight. And he's gotten a good response early from that man. Malik Honeycutt already with 1 touchdown. Makes a nice couple of moves on the outside and gets inside the Arizona 20-yard line to start the drive.
Now, I know they play football all across this great country, and there's some good players everywhere. But no one produces just pure ballers like the state of Florida. Malik's from Tallahassee, so just wanted to point that out, Ben.
Thanks for getting that in, Sean.
Florida boys making plays everywhere.
Well, I've heard that Louisiana produces some good players.
Oh,
as well.
absolutely.
That's where Darius Geis is from. He's from Baton Rouge, stayed there, played at LSU, spent 3 seasons and rushed for over 3,000 yards. But you mentioned the word redemption earlier, and that's what Darius Geis is out to do. He was waived back in August of 2020, had 3 separate domestic violence charges, suspended by the NFL, but he wants to prove he still has some game left in him, now 4 years removed nearly from NFL action. He scored on the first drive. In the meantime, DeQuan Neal keeps it himself to start this drive and picks up 2 yards. But Geis is happy to be healthy now. He was injured to start the year, was on short-term IR, and he now replaces Devontae Sapp-Lynch, who's banged up and out.
It's been a difficult journey at times for him, but he's still pursuing it. He hadn't given up. He's still chasing it. You know, he's still working hard. I'm really pulling for him to find success. You know, can I claim Florida and Louisiana since I'm born in Florida, went high school there.
You played at Tulane.
College, Tulane. Does that make? Okay, I got dual citizenship.
I'm pretty sure that's how that works, or so I've been told. I'll let you know if that changes.
Sounds good to me.
I'll get back to you on that. 2nd and 8 for the Nighthawks at the Rattlers 17. Neal high on the throw for Caleb Holly, bringing up a 3rd and long. Nighthawks. Sean, QB coach Mark Bly was telling us during the week they've really been working hard with Neal on the footwork, on those quick short passes to his left.
Yeah, and just reposition. This is more about not getting the snap, though. Snap was a little to the right. He never had the laces. Shout out to Coach Bly, man. Liberty High School, got the chance to cover them a couple times. I know he's on that staff.
As the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, they're excited about this upcoming season. I think they got a spring game coming up here soon.
And Mark Bly, new addition to the coaching staff this year for Mike Davis. As the incompletion brings up 3rd and 8. Tie game, final minute of the first quarter. Neal, blitz comes, over the middle, drops. Holly could feel his former teammate Javon Jackson closing in. And the Nighthawks elect to bring out Stevie Artigue for the field goal on 4th and 8. Nighthawks will have some time to decide, though, here, Sean, because the play clock is yet to start, so they don't have to get a snap off. As Artigue gets ready to set up, it will be about a 32-yard field goal from here, as Artigue is trying to make his 5th field goal of the season.
Be interesting what adjustments Coach Davis makes. Arizona's bringing a lot of pressure, playing a lot of man coverage. And we'll see if he can get some quick game, but some movement stuff. Or maybe guys catch, make a guy miss a tackle, and turn it into a big play.
We'll have some more time to think about those adjustments because the first quarter has come to an end. Arizona 14, Vegas 14, a 4th down decision when we return.
Neal throw a great pass, and the DB, he undercut it a little too much, and I knew I was capable of my ability to jump high enough to jump over him to go get the ball, and that's what I did.
Now, you had also an unreal kick return. What did you have for breakfast this morning?
This morning, I had some Cinnamon Toast Crunch with some almond milk.
All right, thank you so much.
Oh, that's great. Malik Honeycutt with our Mariah Jones. He had a real opportunity there, Sean. Not a honeycomb guy. Your last name's Honeycutt. He's going Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Come on, man.
Yeah.
I'll give him a pass because that was an unreal 40-yard
Mariah, you should have asked him or said, listen, Sean King said you're doing Florida boy things. His response would have been tremendous.
I had a feeling you were going to go there. What a start. Yeah, Mariah, no, she'll definitely follow up with Malik Honeycutt. Great start for him. Nighthawks, after the commercial break, they decide to go for it. 4th and 8. Daquan Neal off his back foot. Man open. Holly the catch. And is in for 6 with multiple flags down on the field. For now, the Nighthawks have a 3rd touchdown tonight.
Yeah, Ben, this might be offsetting, but I know the penalty in the secondary is going to be a legal pick. Offensive pass interference. They ran like a crossing pattern, and I think it was Quentin Randolph who ran into, I don't know if it was Simeon Gatlin or one of the other DBs, but he ran into one of the Rattlers
play
DBs.
Both by the defense. Illegal defense, linebacker not stationary at the snap, pass interference, defense, that foul's declined, results in plays, a touchdown.
Defensive pass interference, okay.
So the Nighthawks decline that penalty, and Caleb Holly stays hot. His 7th receiving touchdown now over the last 4 weeks.
Correction, there are 2 fouls that were offset. Illegal defense, linebacker not stationary at the snap, pass interference number 4 of the offense. Both fouls were offset, replay 4th down.
Well, you were right, Sean. So Gary Reed maybe got his wires crossed. Offsetting penalties, that will not make head coach Mike Davis happy, but you did think at the start that was a pick play downfield on Randolph.
Yeah, it was. And he tried to avoid him, but he couldn't.
So after all that,
I wasn't going to beat the ref up, though. I was,
right,
because it went in the Nighthawks' favor, but I mean, it definitely was offensive pass.
So Vegas was ready to send Stevie Arteague out for about a 33-yard field goal. First quarter ended. Mike Davis thought about it, sent the offense on the field, thought they had 6. It's offsetting penalties. Now they'll do it again. Wild sequence to start the second quarter in a 14-all
And I
game.
think your opponent matters. I mean, you're probably not going to shut Drew Powell and that offense down. So field goals are not going to win the game for you. I think Coach Davis knows that. You have to be aggressive. And you have to keep the pressure on this Rattler team.
Play clock about to run out, though. Nighthawks either need to take a timeout or take a delay of game penalty, and Vegas does elect to burn their first timeout in a crucial spot. 14:23 to go until halftime as we're tied at 14. Huge 4th down coming up for Vegas when we return.
This year, here at the Dollar Home Center to see the Dollar Home Center National Championship. Tickets on sale now. Vegas, be here tomorrow for Game 6.
All right, we're back in Henderson. Officials jumped the gun on us a bit, but Daquan Neal takes it in. We'll show you right here after the PAT, but Daquan Neal 4th down and 8, keeping it himself on a QB run, draw touchdown. The Nighthawks take a 20-14 lead. And apologies for missing the play, but here it is. Neal having to step up in the pocket. A great job to elude a couple of would-be rushers and puts it in for 6. Stevie Arteague is true on the PAT. And Vegas goes back in front, 21-14, thanks to Daquan Neal's 2nd rushing touchdown of the season. We'll step aside again. 13:30 till halftime with the Nighthawks up 7. We're back at the Dollar Loan Center. This is the second quarter, brought to you by Walker Furniture. Daquan Neal with his quarterback coach Mark Bly taking it in on 4th down and 8, second rushing touchdown of the season. Nighthawks up 21-14 as Artigue kicks it deep. Brought out by Isaiah Houston, a nice return across midfield where he's brought down from behind. Quentin Randolph, and we'll take another look, Sean King, at that very nice running play by Daquan Neal on 4th down.
You know, at quarterback, it's so easy to fall into the trap of trying to prove that you can stay in the pocket and throw the ball. Like when you have God-given gifts, man, the more you use them, the more dangerous you are, the more difficult you are to defend. I love to see that from Daquan. He's so talented, so gifted. You know, this offense is almost impossible to stop if he utilizes that athleticism as much as possible.
Daquan Neal had 57 rushing touchdowns his first 3 years in the IFL. Only had 1 in his first 4 games as a Nighthawk until that one. As Arizona's back on the field, Drew Powell, back-to-back IFL MVP, hands off, and Maureen Walker Jr. with a nice gain on 1st and 10. Forced into the wall by the Vegas native and UNLV Rebel alum Jalen Graves after a pickup of about 7 on 1st down.
First time I think we've called Maureen's name tonight, but good run there on the sideline. Made a couple guys miss. You know, you look at this Arizona team, you know, what jumps out? Production. I mean, everybody that's in uniform on offense has been productive in this IFL league.
7 returners from the group last year that won 14 games. As it's Walker again, this time stonewalled, only a 2-yard gain. Bringing up a 3rd and short. Gabe McCoy with the stop. As we take a look at our Nighthawk defensive starters tonight, Gabe McCoy playing in the 23rd game of his IFL career with Vegas, and the Nighthawks as a franchise have played 23 games. So McCoy's been the franchise Iron Man so far. Meanwhile, Matt Elam, we talked about him already, moving into the linebacker spot with Quez Jackson on IR. Jeff Edgecombe will be profiling later in the game tonight, coming off a season-high 8 tackles to lead the Nighthawks last week. A wide receiver last year, DB this year for the Nighthawks. It's 3rd and 1 Arizona. Powell, another give. Walker with room. Edgecombe gets over to the side, but not before Walker turns the corner and has a 1st down.
You know, that entire sequence is why IFL is so exciting, so much fun to watch, and why if you haven't gotten to the game, you should come. It's 21-14. There have been 35 points scored, and we're just now announcing the starting defense for the Nighthawks because it has not been a stop in action. It's just been touchdown, touchdown, big play, big play. I mean, the energy in the building, it's amazing. This is such an exciting way to play football.
1st and goal, inside give. There's Haley, rung around the shoulders by Boss Tugaloa in his Nighthawk home debut. Was released by Bay Area. That's where he started the season with on April 12th. Just his 2nd game now as a Nighthawk.
Fluid roster. You know, Coach Davis never gets to sleep. I mean, he's making moves. He's trying to get things fixed.
Yeah, not only is this Tugaloa's home debut, it's the first career start for A.J. Beach, who's an IFL rookie out of FCS Savannah State in secondary. So a lot of moving parts for a Nighthawk defense that has struggled, trying to make a stand here. 2nd and goal at the 6. Powell under center. A little pop pass. It's Miles across the pylon and in. Nifty play by Arizona as Jamal Miles gets the touchdown right back.
You know, the analogy is in basketball, when a great offense spreads the court, makes you cover every area. And that's what this Rattler offense does. You know, it's not just throw the ball deep. You know, they run jet sweeps, they run zone read, they run little shovel passes to the slot. Like, they make you cover every inch of this field.
It's a nice way to get a pass touchdown on your ledger if you're Drew Powell.
Shovel.
He did that a time or two. Arizona will again go for 2. They've done that all 3 touchdowns they've scored. Pitch to Walker. Can't get the edge. Shut down by both Harriel and Stanley.
Yeah, great tackle by Macario right there.
Vegas remains in front. 1-point lead, 21-20. And in a game with a lot of offense, plays like that can make a big difference. Macario, Stanley, the former South Florida and UAB Blazer makes the stop. Back at the Dollar Loan Center, Craig Peterson with the ball on the tee. He goes squib up the middle. Fielded by Honeycutt. Had a big return earlier. What can he create here? Hit hard as he tried to juke away from Devontae Merriweather, who makes the stop. Tight game early. Let's go back down to Mariah at the sidelines.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, this Vegas team has another player that is no stranger to the Valley. Defensive back Tony Wallace made his IFL debut last week against the Bay Area Panthers. He led the team in tackles with 4 solo tackles, 3 assisted. Now, he did go to Desert Pines High School, where he led his team to a 12-1 record in his senior year. He also got them a state title as well. So we're definitely happy to have him here at the Dollar Loan Center, you guys.
Totally right, Mariah. One of 2 former Desert Pines High School alums. Jalen Graves, the other on that Nighthawk defense. Offense on the field right now. 1st and 10. There goes Neal. Down the sideline. All the way. Touchdown, Nighthawks. And straight for the money gun. I think Daquan Neal has found his legs tonight, Sean.
I'm telling you, this offense can't be stopped. If that danger is consistently there and presents itself to the defense, there's nothing you can do. You can't tackle him. He's got a big arm, so if you crowd the line of scrimmage, he can throw the ball over your head. I mean, look at that. I mean, that looks like young Ben Wilson right there heading up the sideline, man.
Daquan Neal has some history against the Arizona Rattlers. It was this week, week 8, game number 7 last year, as our Teague's extra point is partially deflected but still goes through for the touchdown. Daquan Neal last year, as a member of the Tucson Sugar Skulls, had a ridiculous game. 7 total touchdowns as Tucson beat Arizona 74-63, snapped the Rattlers' 6-0 record a season ago, and had a couple rushing touchdowns in that game.
I mean, this is just, he's better. You know, he's a better athlete than the athletes that are trying to tackle him. And it all came from the deep ball earlier in the game. You know, they kind of were teetering on, we've had some issues. You know, we haven't gotten them fixed. And then you get one big play and everybody gains confidence. And, you know, it's just been, you know, all positive ever since.
Speaking of flashbacks, oh, here we go. Shout out to our producer, Graham Taylor. He has this ready to go. This was how the undefeated season for Arizona ended last year, 6-0 start. Daquan Neal in that game, 12 of 15, 152 yards, 5 touchdown passes, 2 more on the ground.
Very interesting color choice for the field.
I knew you would pick up on that, but that was the big reason why Daquan Neal finished 2nd in the IFL in quarterback rating last year, was a 2nd-team All-IFL QB. Was originally signed by the New Jersey Generals in the USFL, but released in the preseason. Tucson at the time had already signed their quarterback for this year, and that's how the opportunity came about with Vegas. Kickoff returned here by the Rattlers. Houston makes one-man miss. Down the sideline, charges at the Nighthawk kicker, Stevie Artigue, and gives the Rattlers good starting field position as we go back and forth. 28-20 Nighthawks at the halfway mark of the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, what a game, man. Saturday is beautiful outside here in Las Vegas. I do want to add on a little bit to what Mariah was saying. I got an opportunity this past season to call the Thursday night high school game of the week. We actually did Desert Pines High School. I mean, there's some really, really good football players here in the city of Las Vegas and the surrounding areas. You know, I called numerous college coaches and said, you probably need to put at least one coach here. There's a lot of talent here in Las Vegas.
And so Graves and Wallace. Wallace, a starter tonight, representing DP. Wallace finished his collegiate career at UTSA, was a road runner, and he's 16 in red, is in the secondary right now with Drew Powell and the Rattlers going back to work. All day for Powell to throw or run. He'll throw wide open. Jamal Miles. Jeff Edgecombe makes the stop. Not much the defensive backfield could do, though, Sean, with all time to throw for Drew Powell.
Yeah, great patience, great poise. You know, you can tell he really understands not just the Rattler offense, but the game that's played in the IFL. You know, this is all the way back across the field. He's directing traffic. He knows the weaknesses. He's seen all the coverages. Drew Powell's just outstanding quarterback.
Keeping in mind, too, Powell, first game action since he was injured, week 2 in a loss at Bay Area. 1st and 10, quick throw, Haley zooms down the near sideline and brings up a 2nd and short just outside the 5 of Vegas. And another guy just back, Braxton Haley. He hasn't played since week 3 in a loss against Tucson, but a player who had 66 catches a season ago, officially 2nd down and 4 from the 6.
Yeah, Braxton, first team IFL last year, so extremely accomplished. They were fired up to get back at it. I was on the field because I wanted to see how my guy Cecil Cherry was doing, and I got to meet Braxton and Andrew, great young men.
27 combined touchdown catches now in his 3 seasons, Braxton Haley, including one earlier in the game. Rattler ball down 8. They fake the inside give. There's Powell right up the middle, untouched as he wriggles his way into the end zone for 6.
It's a well-designed play. I mean, you're running a jet sweep to the field. You got a puller going to the boundary that secures it for your quarterback. I mean, they seal the edge. This is a great job, great play design. And listen, Drew Powell is like, hey, DeQuan Neal, whatever you can do, I can do better. So
how about the offense tonight? Really, the only separation has been Arizona's elected to go for 2 every time. Vegas has elected to kick PATs. Arizona 1 of 3 so far, and they're trying to make it up here. Powell with 1 on the play clock. They muff the snap. Loose ball picked up and a chance to return it. Edgecombe writ down by Powell, who prevented 2 points the other way. And the Nighthawks get a 2nd straight stop on a 2-point attempt. So it stays 28-26. Nighthawks with 4:12 to go in the first half. Hey, while we have a second, the family that flies together has more fun together. Join the Nighthawks next Saturday with a family 4-pack and 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 drinks, and 4 mini replica TDLC arenas, all for just $34 per person. Scan that QR code right there on the screen. You can also call 702-645-4259 or just email tickets at nighthawks.com. It is military night next Saturday night, and we'll have more on Jeff Edgecombe. We'll talk about him coming up at halftime. A guy who served in the Army for 9 years, just had his final day April 6th. Mariah will have more on Jeff still to come. There's that number 19 in red. He's provided a big spark, Sean. This is only his 3rd game with the team, signed mid-season, and after spending last year as a wideout, he's just like Malik Honeycutt, trying to prove he can play whether it's on offense or defense.
yeah, extremely versatile, having an impact tonight on defense, but he's done his thing on offense as well. By the way, we appreciate the service of all our people that serve in our military. Again, if you're just tuning in, happy Mother's Day, early Mother's Day to all the moms tomorrow.
On this Women's Appreciation Night.
Yeah.
Inside the Dollar Loan Center.
I think everyone got, all women got a rose, was it?
Flowers.
Yeah.
So there were some roses I saw around as this kick is taken by Honeycutt. 2-point Nighthawk lead. Honeycutt makes a nice cut, but there is a flag down from behind the play. See if that return out across midfield holds for Malik Honeycutt at the 4:03 mark of the first half. And Mariah did an outstanding feature with Jeff Edgecombe, as it is a
10-yard penalty, first down
on the Nighthawks, so that will not stand. It's on A.J. Beach, and so we'll have more to bring you on Edgecombe later on in the broadcast, but you can see a full feature Mariah did at fox5vegas.com on Jeff Edgecombe. Beach right on the edge of your screen had likely just made whatever holding infraction was as he was coming into the picture. Head coach Mike Davis looks on. It's been all offense so far. There has not been a single stop made with the Nighthawks up by 2. Neal, 2 rushing touchdowns already. Can he get a 3rd? Neal lowers the shoulder as he gets another chunk play. It's the speed, it's the power, Sean. He can do both.
Explosiveness, too. I mean, he's getting from point A to B extremely quick. And it looks like Mike Davis has made the decision until they prove they can defend our QB run game, because Cecil Cherry got here Wednesday. He's the backer, so he hadn't seen a lot of different looks in the IFL. So maybe they're taking advantage of some inexperience there.
Well, as much as people point to Arizona's struggles being because of the injury to quarterback Drew Powell, it's a defense that's taken a big step back this year. Only 4 returners from last year, went from the 2nd best defense to 10th in points per game allowed. And you're totally right, Sean. There's holes all over the place. 1 on the play clock for Neal. Just gets the snap off. Geis, nowhere to go. Reverses Fields and can't get away from Cherry. Got him around the ankle and takes down Geis for a loss of about 5.
And that's just a great job there by Chris Terrell. I mean, that pressure is immediate.
Forces Geis to go the other way, and the Pensacola, Florida native, which I know you'll appreciate, number 95 in white, Chris Terrell. He is the one returner on this Rattler defensive line, tied for 10th in the IFL in sacks, and he helped make that stop. 2nd and 14, officially a loss of 4. Neal the fake, goes up top, McCray knocked away. Jackson came over at the last second, and McCray wanted that ball a little bit higher for what would have been a sure touchdown.
Yeah, man, the pride of Duke. Got over, broke it up, gets a PBU on that. I know that's a ball he probably wishes or wants back, because it definitely was a ball that could have been picked off. You know, and in those situations, when you have a big receiver like McCray, you know, always, if you're going to miss high there. You know, give him a chance to elevate. And then you see McCray, you see his hand, he's pointing, you just put it up a little bit.
Creates a 3rd and long for the Nighthawks in what is likely the last play before the 1-minute warning. 2 on the play clock for quarterback Daquan Neal. Bobbles the snap. Blitz picked up. Neal lobs. McCray got it! Touchdown Vegas! There is a flag in the backfield, and it's a personal foul on Arizona. Wipe it away. It will be a Nighthawk touchdown.
We talked about Drew Powell's poise. I mean, this was
personal foul. Blow to the defense and force him to kick off. First down.
This is excellent by Daquan Neal. I mean, great job by Geis, too, of coming and pick up the blitz. This is a little wrinkle they put in pass protection. If you watch, Geis is going to come from the slot and pick up the blitzer. Meanwhile, Daquan Neal is he's orchestrating. Go left, go right, go deep. And, hey, man, I know he feels great having Jordan McCray back. Good to see Jordan get in the end zone.
5th touchdown in his 4th game this year, Jordan McCray. And how about the adjustment, too? It was too low on the throw. On 2nd down,
comes back, puts it right on the money.
Yep. And Stevie Artigue nails the PAT. Largest lead of the night for either team. Nighthawks 35, Rattlers 26. It's the 1-minute warning as we step aside from inside the Dollar Loan Center. Nighthawks by 9. Neal and the Nighthawks on offense in all sorts of rhythm tonight. Fans have been treated to a good one tonight. So far, 9 combined possessions between the Arizona Rattlers and Vegas Nighthawks. 9 total touchdowns. Nighthawks by 9. Stevie Artigue going for the deuce, but it's a little short, and a chance to bring it out for Jamal Miles. Miles with room, but Mr. Harriel saves what could have been a huge return brought down across the 15.
You're absolutely right, because there was nothing in between the end zone, but Mr. Harry, and that's a tough tackle to make too because he's coming across
Roughing
that
the passer
formation.
fouls, bank is now being enforced. 1st and 10 from the 8.5-yard line, Arizona Rattlers.
You see that solid tackle by Mr. Harriel. A reminder, in the IFL, whenever you have those personal foul penalties that are on either touchdowns or kicks, they're enforced in what's called in the bank. So it's after the ensuing kickoff. So they make sure all kickoffs are still taken from the goal line, and then you enforce the penalty at the end of the result. So that's a big tackle because it forces the ball now half the distance to the goal. Arizona starts inside their own 10. 52 to go in the first half. Powell, nice seam pass as he finds a wide open man. That's his running back, Maureen Walker Jr., who snuck out of the backfield. Into the wall, clock stops out across the 20 with 44 seconds to go. Keep in mind, Arizona still with all 3 timeouts. In the IFL, that 1-minute warning, you go back to the normal timing rules, so it's not running clock. And as a result, Sean, it's sometimes a situation you see at least 2 possessions, sometimes even 3 in the final minute.
Yeah, a lot can transpire in 60 seconds in the IFL. Interesting, Gabe McCoy not on the field for the Nighthawks.
Powell on 1st and 10. Feeling pressure, makes one man miss. Good job by Graves to feel Powell climbing the pocket. Forces him to go down in the field of play. And Arizona burns their first timeout after about a 5-yard pickup.
Timeout of the first half, 30 seconds.
2 timeouts left now for each team, and you were mentioning the Desert Pines High School local angle earlier. We talked about it with Tony Wallace in the defensive backfield. That was Jalen Graves, who became the 2nd player in team history to be both from Las Vegas and also play for the UNLV Rebels, joining kicker Nolan Cohorst from last year. So Arizona will gather themselves. It's been such a tight start to the year, Sean, across this entire Western Conference, where first and last are only separated by 2 games. So even though we only sit, it's the 7th game for each team, it has a pseudo playoff feel with how Bay Area and Northern Arizona are off to good starts at 4-2. But Duke City and Vegas, San Diego to an extent, not out of it either.
Yeah, it's competitive. It's a lot of parity there. You look on the overall record. You know, if you're the Knights, though, these conference games, I mean, you got to start changing that narrative a little bit. You know, 1-4. You know, so 5 of their 6 games have already been conference games.
2nd and 5. Powell goes for it all. Flag down. Haley makes the catch. Nighthawks are adamant that it's an offensive hold, and it looks like that is the call. So hold everything up.
Offense, number 94. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
That gets a big cheer from the Nighthawk faithful. Lamar Beatty, who was just re-signed this week by Arizona. He's a seasoned vet, 3-time first-team All-IFL lineman, but he is called for the hold.
And Ben, I just talked about before the timeout, Gabe McCoy not being in the game. He gets inserted back in the game, immediately comes in, makes his presence felt.
Woo. The bull rush from Gabe McCoy.
Really, the Gates was an outstanding throwing kick. Braxton Haley elevated, you know, on the receiving end for the touchdown, but nope, Mr. McCoy said not right now.
Nighthawks lead by 9. Rattlers with the ball, 2nd and 15. Powell feels the heat. McCoy comes after him, but he gets rid of the ball. Knocked away at the last second by Jeff Edgecombe. Flashed right in front of Isaiah Houston's face. An excellent play on the ball.
Excellent on both levels. 2nd play in a row, McCoy's made his presence felt. Flushes Drew Powell out of the pocket. And all you young DBs out there, watch Edgecombe. He can't see the ball, but he plays through the hands of the receiver. Great pass breakup.
Now just 22 seconds left in the half. Rattlers still have 2 timeouts, but faced with a 3rd and 15. Remember, in the IFL, there's no punting. Big play for that Nighthawk defense that has failed to get a stop so far in the first half. In fact, nobody's gotten a stop. Powell on 3rd and 15. With time. Goes for it all. Has a man. Touchdown, Isaiah Houston. Beats the defense, and the Rattlers strike back.
And you see that again, a lot of moving pieces, a lot of moving parts. There's some miscommunication You know, because A.J. Beats thinks that there's a deep safety, and he's responsible for anything coming back across the field to his side. And after the play bit, you can see, you know, those guys in secondary talking to each other. But again, A.J. Beats, this is his first game here, you know, with the Nighthawks, so maybe some parts of the defense he doesn't know yet.
First start for Beats, just his second game. Arizona goes for two. Powell fakes the give, shakes off Jeff Edgecombe and gets across the goal line. Touchdown plus the 2, and Drew Powell, we wondered how effective he'd be in his first game back in over a month. Well, he's answered that question, Sean.
He looks healthy. He definitely looks healthy. But 16 and a half seconds, I mean, that's an eternity. An eternity in the IFL. So for a Vegas team, I think they have 2 of their timeouts remaining. So an opportunity to get some chunk plays here, call timeout. I'm going to say 35-34 is not the halftime score.
Now, if you see on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, a new partnership this year the IFL has where they put all of the betting lines for all of the games. These were the closing lines, and it was 93.5 on the total points. We are at 69, John King. I'm not great at math, but we're well on our way.
Yeah, hashtag no shot. If you took the under. If you took the under, tear the ticket up, it's no longer viable.
Arizona, the short road favorite tonight. 3-3, the Rattlers. 2-4, the Nighthawks. This game will go a long way toward playoff positioning. Top 4 teams in each Eastern and Western Conference make the 8-team IFL playoffs. Even though we're only in week 7 for these 2 teams, a lot riding on tonight as the Nighthawks still have 2 timeouts left, 16 seconds to go. Let's see if Craig Peterson goes for the deuce or just goes for the straight-on squib. It's the latter, and a really nicely executed squib. Honeycutt inside his own 5. Darts through a couple of seams, laterals, loose ball. It looked like Mr. Harriel got back on it, and he did, but a very dangerous play by Malik Honeycutt inside 10 seconds.
I like the creativity, though. It almost worked. It's just a little short on the pitch. But hey, man, when you're going up against a team that has the back-to-back league MVP, you know you're going to have to score some points. So I like the aggressiveness. I mean, this almost works.
But it almost is a disaster, and head coach Mike Davis came on the field doing the old finger wag at number 22, Malik Honeycutt, saying, hey, don't be doing that again.
Hey, live on the edge, Ben. Live on the edge.
I'm sure you said that to your coaches a time or two, Sean.
Absolutely, man.
I know John Gruden loved it when you would say, hey, live on the edge, coach.
Let me cook, baby. Let me cook.
We'll see what the Nighthawks try to do. Likely just time for one play now, and we'll have to burn their timeout. 5 seconds left. The play clock was about to expire. And it's actually Arizona who takes the timeout. So
30 seconds.
Kevin Guy, the head coach who is on the field as a play caller, both on offense and defense, saw something he didn't
Please
like.
restore the game clock to 5.5 seconds. 5.5 seconds. Thank you.
So you look down at Kevin Guy, and you just think about how tremendous this Arizona Rattler franchise has been. Have made 26 playoff appearances in their 29 years as a franchise. If you go back to the old arena days, now the IFL, 13 title game appearances and 6 total titles, looking for their 350th win as a franchise. And Kevin Guy's been on the sideline for most of those.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive.
In the meantime, you see Mike Davis in his second year leading this expansion franchise, the Vegas Nighthawks. He'll be speaking with our sideline reporter, Mariah Janos, in a couple seconds. And there's his counterpart, Kevin Guy, on the Arizona side of things. Now, what do the Nighthawks have in store? 5 seconds left. Up 35-34, final sequence of the first half. Big first half for DeQuan Neal already, but he'll have to wait as there was early movement.
The line judge is generally lenient about receivers getting across the line of scrimmage at the snap, but in this particular situation,
Quentin Randolph
was at least 15 yards past the line of scrimmage.
I like the word choice, leniency, because it's accurate.
Absolutely.
Usually.
Yeah. They generally give you, what, a 2-yard cushion, it seems?
Something like that. And the Nighthawks backed up inside their own 5. Well, very positive first half for Vegas. DeQuan Neal in his 3rd game back from injury. This is the first multi-rushing touchdown game he's had as a Nighthawk. With the empty set, Neal just dumps it off. There's Darius Geis, who is eventually wrestled to the turf. by Justin Thomas, and that'll bring
That's
it
the
into
end
the
of
first
the first
half of a very entertaining opening 2 quarters in what has the feel of a gotta-have-it game, even in the first half of the season for both the Arizona Rattlers and Vegas Nighthawks. It's been all offense so far as the Nighthawks lead by 1.
Both quarterbacks showed up and showed out. Tremendous display by both young men through the air, on the ground. I don't know what kind of adjustments you can make for guys that are playing at this high level, but Drew Powell and Daquan Neal, excellent first half for both.
35-34 Nighthawks as we send it down to our Mariah
The
Jonathan.
NFL and our teams have always been involved in supporting the them as friends. We will continue these efforts, but feel it's time to bring nutrition into the fold. Build Your Base is the perfect partner for this edition. For the past 5 years, the Build Your Base program has been educating and empowering youth, high school, and college athletes to leverage the power of nutrition to support good health and athletic performance. Build Your Base will help us include a nutrition-based message into our time with local youth. We'll hold game time events in multiple communities throughout the 2023 season. Events will feature players visiting with local youth to play, visit, and have fun, all while teaching them about food, exercise, and nutrition. In 2023, look for game time events near you, as well as shared information about good health, good food, and good fun. Build Your Base will not just be the IFL's partner. Build Your Base will be our partner
were absolutely cooking in that first half. You certainly found your legs. How do you keep it rolling in the second?
Just keep the intensity up. We came out fired up. We getting great play from the O-line, running back, and they man up on the back end, so we just got to secure those blocks up front, and I just got to do what I do.
What was the message in the locker room at the half?
Keep it up. We gave up a couple of mental breakdowns on defense end, but everybody's playing well. Besides 2 or 3 breakdowns in the back end, we're doing pretty good. So as long as you just clean up the little mistakes, we'll be all right.
Thank you so much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Found your legs. How do you keep it rolling in the second?
Just keep the intensity up. We came out fired up. We getting great play from the O-line, running back, and they man up on the back end, so we just got to secure those blocks up front, and I just got to do what I do.
What was the message in the locker room at the half?
Keep it up. We gave up a couple of mental breakdowns on defense end, but everybody's playing well. Besides 2 or 3 breakdowns in the back end, we're doing pretty good. So as long as you just clean up the little mistakes, we'll be all right.
Thank you so much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for that, Mariah. 35-34 is the Nighthawk lead. And there's the hashtag Neil Squad out in full force on this Women's Appreciation Night tonight at the Dollar Loan Center. Reminder, the Nighthawks football is brought to you by Turf Envy, kicking some major grass, and Vegas Custom Glass. Your design come true. Mariah said Daquan Neal's been cooking. Helps when you got the better half in the house as well, Sean.
Yeah, man. Family first. Always feels good, when you get in the car after the game and you balled out.
Oh, yeah.
You sit different. You get to control the temperature and the music.
4 total touchdowns for Daquan Neal. It is Arizona who starts with the ball to begin the second half. A little squib picked up by Jamal Miles and eventually reeled to the turf by Malik Honeycutt. As you look at the first half numbers for Drew Powell, first game back since week 2, 7 of 8 passing, 108 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Only carried the ball 4 times, but did run it for a touchdown. And he might not be fully 100%, Sean, but he looks 99.5 right now.
The number that sticks out to me is 7 or 8. The entire half, only 1 incompletion, 1 ball on the ground. So, that just tells you he came back and he's in midseason form. It doesn't look to me to be any lingering effects from his injury.
Last year in this game against Vegas, Powell led the Rattlers 7 touchdown drives on the first 7 possessions, and he swings it to Morian Walker Jr. A near first down on the first play of the half right at the sticks as Arizona immediately gets it into Vegas territory. So you go back to the game last year. In the 2 games for Arizona inside the Dollar Loan Center, Drew Powell has led the Rattlers on 12 drives and scored 12 touchdowns. That's not a bad rate of success.
That's pretty efficient.
Team had 10 total drives and 10 touchdowns. Rattler was pulled with the team up big, but the difference this time around, the Nighthawks much more experienced offensively after suffering to a 6-10 expansion season a year ago with 6 different quarterbacks, majority of whom were all rookies, but Daquan Neal brings a different element there. In the meantime, Powell under center, hands off to Walker as he's boomed into the wall by Boss Tugaloa for a minimal gain. 2nd and long coming up for Arizona.
Walker with the carry.
Morian Walker, interesting how Coach Guy moves him around. Just caught a quick screen in the slot. Now he's running, from the pistol formation. He does a lot of different things. Really versatile for a running back.
He just made his team debut in the last game, a 7-point win at Tulsa 2 weeks ago. Arizona coming off their bye week as Lamar Mady with a big old flinch.
94, 5-yard penalty.
Move it back 5 yards in 2nd and 11. So it hasn't just been the quarterback and receiver positions, Sean, where Arizona's had the injuries. As you see, Nighthawk head coach Mike Davis look on. Jagger Gardner was placed on short-term IR end of April. So they brought Walker Jr. into the fold. He was banged up to start the year, and this is now just his second career pro game, the former Utah State Aggie.
He's having a big impact. Again, very versatile piece. A guy you can utilize in space. He has good hands. He's gotten some yards after contact. Big body running back, too.
2nd and 11 for Powell. Shot down the right side. Broken up. The Vegas native Tony Wallace got his hand right in the breadbasket of Haley.
Again, excellent job out of DB. If you're going to face guard the wide receiver, there is a flag on the play, however. Of playing through the hands of the wide receiver. Not trying to turn your head and find the ball. That actually was a glove.
Yeah, the yellow glove of Jeff Edgecombe, which looks almost identical to a flag.
He's trying to trick us.
Really nice play by Tony Wallace. It was a struggle in his debut. Nighthawks gave up 9 touchdowns in the first 9 drives at Bay Area, but they forced a 3rd and 11, opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Powell scrambling left, under pressure, dumps it off. Open Houston for the first down. Bounces off a couple Nighthawk tacklers and fights his way to the 6. As Gabe McCoy got a piece of Drew Powell's t-shirt, it looked like, coming out the bottom of his jersey, but couldn't bring him down.
I mean, McCoy's getting a great initial rush, but, Powell just doesn't panic. I mean, he understands this game at an elite level. To just put some context on it, personally, when I played arena football, as accomplished as I was outdoors, it took me a while, Ben, to really get adjusted to the different dimensions of playing this game.
Now 1st and goal from the 6. Powell the fake. The shimmy shake. Past Elam and in. And he gets past the former 1st-round draft pick linebacker Matt Elam, as Drew Powell gives Arizona the lead once more.
And Matt knows better in this situation. He's got to attack the hip of this quarterback. He can't be passive there. See how he's flat-footed and he's waiting. You give Drew a 2-way go. He's got to attack, be aggressive, get to the ball carrier before you see how he hesitates there. He's got to go right through that outside hip.
It's a perfect point to bring up your transition from outdoor to indoor, because Matt Elam, again, a guy with NFL experience, this is his first game of the season.
And when Matt listens to this, he's going to text me, well, you tackle him.
2-point conversion coming up. Powell again the keep. He just gets over the pylon. Tugaloa got him up high, but the strength of Drew Powell puts Arizona up by 7.
Running on the field, extra points good, media timeout.
It's hard to shake off the 285-pound big defensive lineman out of UCLA, Boss Tugaloa, but Drew Powell just did it. Keeps it in for 6 and then takes it himself for 2 as we step aside. The offensive barrage continues, 42-35. There's Risk, the Nighthawk mascot, keeping the fans entertained, although there's been plenty of entertainment on the field. With Craig Peterson having the ball on the tee, another squib kick. Forces a high hop. That's the exact goal of those squibs, and Mr. Harriel gets stoned inside his own 10. Nice kick coverage downfield as well by Arizona and Jazerick Peterson. Let's go down to Mariah, who has more on Jeff Edgecombe of the Nighthawks.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, Jeff Edgecombe came to this team from West Point Academy. He originally actually spent the majority of this year in the USFL, spending time with Memphis before returning to the Vegas Nighthawks, and he said that this Vegas team is what attracted him to the IFL. He wanted to play for this particular franchise. He loves head coach Mike Davis, but this past April, he actually completed a 9-year stint with the Army. He played at West Point Academy, and after that, West Point requires you to serve for 5 years. So he just finished his 5-year service this past April. And I caught up with him on just the transition from the Army to football, and he said the military is a team sport too, so nothing prepares you more than fighting for your brothers overseas and then bringing it back here. He wants to be that voice of leadership here as well, like he was as an officer in the Army. And if you want to see the full feature that I did with Jeff Edgecombe, you can catch it on fox5vegas.com.
Thanks so much, Mariah. Tremendous story, and Edgecombe in his third game now of the season back with the Nighthawks after serving as a wide receiver last year. Saw the first down play, though, Daquan Neal dropping the ball right close to the wall, so he is forced to go down to the turf. No gain. In fact, a loss of 2 as they spot it back in the 5-yard line for Neal. Nighthawks down by 7, 8:45 to go third quarter. Neal off the play fake. Steps up with room. Watch out! Daquan Neal taking off inside the Arizona 15.
Can't stop it. And that was a design pass, but he's just making things happen tonight. He's motivated. I think he heard the whispers, Ben, and he's out to prove I'm the right man for the job.
A 33-yard pickup for Daquan Neal, who for the night is at 107 rushing yards. For the season, Sean, coming in, he was only at 85. And you saw him talk about the whispers. A lot of people were wondering, this guy's a dual threat talent. Where has the running been? Just one rushing touchdown the first 4 games. Well, we've seen it tonight.
Yep, absolutely. Impossible to defend defensively.
First down and 10. Not quite a goal to go situation. Ball at the 12. Fake the give to Geis. Neal again lowers the shoulder as he's crunched from behind. Brought down by Cecil Cherry in his Rattlers debut. And with that, the Vegas Nighthawks have entered the Prime Real Estate Red Zone presented by Knight Realty.
Presented by Knight Real Estate Group.
That's multiple 30-plus yard rushing gains as well for Daquan Neal. And the confidence just looks there now, Sean, with the legs.
It absolutely does. He's making the right reads, you know, in some of this zone read, jet sweep stuff. And he's playing a lot of confidence, just as you said, man. There's no need to, overcomplicate it. It's simply his confidence is back.
2nd and 5 Vegas. Ball at the 7. Neal, the pitch. Geis tries to get to the edge. Pretty good D, though, by Arizona. Geis can only get to the 4 on a short pickup, and it's 3rd and short with Chris Terrell coming over to make the stop, along with Yerlich Jones, who was a big offseason signing coming over from the Northern Arizona Wranglers. What do you do here, Sean? 3rd and short, ball inside the 5.
Your QB run game, I mean, it's been working for you, but, I trust Coach Davis. I mean, I've watched him. This is my 3rd game, getting an opportunity to call this squad. Offensive scheme is A+, from this Nighthawks. It's about execution.
Neal, the give. Geis trying to power up the middle. Looks to be just short. Maybe got a half yard as Arizona pinched on the inside again. Jones, Cherry, and then Merriweather coming up from the secondary as head coach Mike Davis looks on with his QB Neal.
The guys in the white jerseys did a lot on the snap. The guys in the red jerseys didn't do a lot on the snap. That's just one of those, you kind of throw your hands up. I mean, Lou Chandler, Isaac Jackson, Moses Mallory, the O-line for the Nighthawks, they didn't provide much resistance in that situation.
In fact, no gain. 4th and 2, Nighthawks, ball at the 4. Nighthawks 7-12 on 4th downs this year. Rattlers have been the second worst red zone defense team in the IFL. The fake. Neal with time. End zone intercepted. It's picked off on 4th and 2. Back of the end zone, and Dylan Winfrey, who's been a Nighthawk killer, his second career pick against Vegas. It's the first defensive stop of the night for either team as Arizona holds. 5:17 to go in the third quarter. And an absolute ball hawk, Dylan Winfrey, the defensive player of the year 2 years ago in the IFL, gets the takeaway. Arizona up 7. Back in Henderson, it is the Boxer Motors third quarter as Arizona takes over at their own 5-yard line after the interception in the end zone. And Drew Powell back to work. 2-time MVP breaking tackles up across the 20 to near midfield. As we have a reminder that the family that flies together has more fun together. Join the Nighthawks next Saturday with a family 4-pack. Get 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 drink, and 4 mini replica TDLC arenas, all for just $34 a person. Scan the QR code right there on the screen. You can call 702-645-4259 or just email tickets at nighthawks.com. And Drew Powell continues to run with a vengeance. 19-yard pickup as the Rattler offense continues to churn forward. Both with Powell and Maureen Walker Jr. down the far side. Beach forces him into the wall. And the Rattlers getting anything they want right now, Sean, on the ground.
We've seen a concerted effort by both coaches to really run the ball. I wonder, because this league is about talent, but it's also about experience playing this game. And you have 2 middle linebackers, Matt Elam for the Nighthawks and Cecil Cherry for the Rattlers, very inexperienced as far as the IFL goes. And I wonder how much of the decision to be run-centric by both coaches is based on that inexperience.
And the fact that Vegas, if you look at the raw numbers, best pass defense by yards allowed in the IFL, second worst rush defense. And Arizona's taking advantage tonight. 1st and 10. Powell the option. Back to Walker. This time left side as McCoy pushes him into the wall. 5-yard pickup on 1st and 10. As we cross the 4-minute mark of the third quarter, Rattlers 42, Vegas 35. You just wonder, Sean, with the fact we hadn't gotten a single defensive stop until that last sequence. Daquan Neal intercepted in the end zone by Dylan Winfrey. Will that be the momentum swing that propels Arizona forward now?
Well, it's interesting because Vegas has led for the majority of this game. The Rattlers get a stop after they had taken the lead, so now Vegas is playing catch-up in a lot of ways.
Powell hasn't thrown much tonight. When he has been, he's been really effective. 8 of 10 through the air, 2 touchdowns. Little jet sweep. Miles around the edge. Another touchdown, Jamal Miles. A flag does come down, though. And we'll see if it stands as Miles, for now, finds his way in.
Holding, offense number 13. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
It does not hold up Braxton Haley, the guilty party. And I wonder if Haley had to do it, Sean. Looked like Miles had the edge.
It did. But a lot of times the receiver has his back to the ball carrier, so he can't actually see what's happening behind him. So he kind of attaches, and he doesn't know when to let go.
I saw him right in the slot there. Here's a better look.
I don't know if that was holding, man.
I'll take your word for it, since you know better than I.
And I'm not sure that was holding. But.
They mark it also from the spot of the foul, which was at the 1. So back to the 11. That means 2nd and 9 for Arizona ball at the Nighthawk 11. 3 minutes to go, third quarter. Rattlers at 3-3, off to a slow start by their very high standards, but getting Drew Powell back for the first time in about a month. Missed 4 weeks with an upper body injury, the quarterback. Powell from the gun. Over the middle, caught right back to Miles as the wide receiver does in fact find his way into the end zone.
I mean, that's just precision. I mean, from an execution standpoint, I mean, the route, the spacing of the concept, I mean, that's just really good right there. It's tough to defend that when everybody does exactly what they're supposed to do. As a coach, when you draw it up, you know it works. But it's about getting everybody that's actually playing the game to do it correctly, and that just was great execution there.
Again, Arizona, they've gone for 2 every time. A drop on the handoff. Haley tries to reverse field. Nowhere to go, and a cavalcade of Nighthawks slam him to the turf. 48-35 is the score, but Arizona, first team to score consecutive touchdowns tonight. 2:02 to go in third. Nighthawks try to respond when we come back. Arizona with back-to-back touchdowns as they've taken their largest lead of the night following the DeQuan Neal end zone interception. Touchdown from the quarterback of Arizona, Drew Powell, to Jamal Miles. You see the Nighthawk cheerleaders with DeQuan Neal ready to come back onto the field. Nighthawks looking for a rally at 2-4, loses of 2 straight. Can they find some magic here in the second half? Peterson's squib taken by Harriel. And good starting field position as he's brought down by Devontae Merriweather across the 25. Despite that last interception, first and 10 for Neal and the Nighthawks. Wants a quick hitter. End zone, yes!
What an answer.
Touchdown, Randolph!
What an answer.
Yeah, he answered your query pretty quick, Sean. Quentin Randolph, who grew up a major Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Sean King fan, is now balling out himself in the IFL. His 8th touchdown of the year.
Yeah, man, that is awesome. I mean, this is a great ball. This is a great catch. Like, this is what you consider a back shoulder throw, Ben, but watch the in-air adjustment to this ball by Randolph. And when you throw one and it goes exactly where you want it to, that's the look, that's the body language you have at quarterback. Like, Daquan's feeling it tonight.
And after kicking PATs on their first 5 touchdowns, Vegas will now go for 2. This is what Arizona's been doing the whole night. Nighthawks a little bit slow to get set. Only 2 on the play clock. Will they get the play off? They just do. Fake the pitch. Neal picked. And this could be returned for 2. Merriweather can only get to the 10 as the 2-point conversion is no good. It does stay a 1-possession game with 10 seconds to go in the quarter. As we'll get another look at that touchdown throw from Neal. Here's what you're talking about, Sean, that in-air adjustment made by Randolph.
Yeah, this is tremendous. So watch, he throws a back shoulder, but watch Randolph. I mean, that's not easy to do.
Randolph happy. It's great to see him.
All right, do your dance.
Back with the team.
And this is a ball.
Yeah.
If he misses that throw, it's got to be in the stands.
And that's on the 2-point conversion attempt. Rattlers still on top, 48-41. We've reached the end of the third quarter.
Fans, please put your hands together for the Del Webb Middle School cheer team.
We at the IFL and our teams have always been involved in supporting the communities that support us. We have been honored to be able to help raise funds for local charities and schools. We've had
Here's a look at the Del Webb Middle School cheer squad. It's been a really fun night tonight. Mother's Day tomorrow. It is Women's Appreciation Night here at the Dollar Loan Center. And as we welcome you back.
By this Nighthawks offense, you had to come back and respond in a positive way, and they did just that. Still a lot of football. I can promise you 48 won't be enough to win it. You know, we'll see if the defense can get a stop here, Ben, and get the ball back for the Nighthawks.
110 rushing yards. That is a new Nighthawk single game high, and it comes from the quarterback position. But that's what fans were expecting out of Daquan Neal. He was somebody who was tied for 10th in the IFL in rushing touchdowns last year. That's as a quarterback.
The Nighthawks
you see the ability, the explosiveness.
Illegal defense. The previous play is on the further
In the meantime,
video.
we showed you going to break. The Nighthawks scored the touchdown to pull within 7. They trail 48-41. Neal threw an interception in the end zone on the 2-point conversion, and after having the quarter break to look at it, Vegas head coach Mike Davis is using his challenge that there was illegal defense. So we'll see if we have any other looks. But that was the announcement from Gary Reed, our head official tonight. First of the 2 challenges that the coaches in the IFL are able to use as you get a look at Coach Davis. So see if we get a look at what's always so hard, Sean, about these challenges is there's a lot that can constitute illegal defense.
True, very true.
So the hope here from Mike Davis, and you're balancing this. If you lose the challenge, you lose a timeout, and you would lose your first challenge. But If you're able to win the challenge, you get the ball half the distance to the goal, and you'd have another try at the 2-point conversion. As we wait to take another look. So this is what they're challenging. So you're looking for a couple things. Did anybody, especially on that defensive line, get out of their stances early? Or did you have any of the secondary players inside what is called the belt, which is the area 5 yards beyond the defensive line of scrimmage? That the belt is like an imaginary line that runs sideline to sideline. Disappears on the snap, but you can't be inside the belt at that snap. So those are a couple of the things on illegal defense. You also can't stunt or twist if you're a defensive lineman. You got to go straight 3-on-3. Point being, Sean, it's hard to be a defender in the IFL. All the rules. Not easy, to say the least. Defensive line
it must be something
pretty clean.
It must be something that's pretty close because it's taken them a while.
And there's Gary Reed, who is having a couple of deep looks at this. Regardless of what happens, it'll still be a one-possession game, but Mike Davis understands the way the Arizona offense has been going, and they've been trying 2-point conversions every time. You might not feel comfortable giving them the ball back down 7, since they could make it potentially a 15-point game.
Yeah.
Here's the call from Gary Reed.
After further video review, the ruling on the field stands. Extra points, no good.
And at least I'm looking at those replay shots. I didn't see anything obvious that would have been overturned.
Vegas,
and Mike Davis will call over.
Charge a timeout by losing the challenge.
The officiating
crew.
One
challenge remaining.
So that cost Vegas their first timeout and their first challenge. So keep that in mind as we're ready to start the fourth quarter. Remember, the other thing that is a new rule this year in the IFL, we haven't really seen it tonight, Sean, but you can try a deuce at any time, which is the kickoff attempts where you're trying to kick it through the uprights. It's the equivalent of a 58-yard field goal, albeit going off the tee. And Stevie Artigue has made one deuce this year. He went for one earlier, just barely came up short.
There is a penalty, though, if you don't make it correctly.
The first time you miss it, if it goes out of the back of the end zone, opposing team starts at their own 20. And Artigue will not try the deuce, just trying to angle this down, making life difficult. And Jamal Miles has that ball pop over the wall into the first row where the fans get a souvenir, which is the nice pro of coming to games if you are an IFL fan. And that's a really nice job by Stevie Artigue, since he pinned him inside the 5. If it goes out of bounds but doesn't go through the end zone at all, ball's marked at the 5-yard line, and that's about as well as you can hope for on one of these kick coverage situations if you're Artigue in the Nighthawks.
Yeah, I know Coach Davis, he really would like his defense to figure out, how to create an explosive play, whether it be a sack, a tackle for a loss, an interception, a caused fumble. It feels like the momentum is with the Rattlers now as we start this fourth quarter.
Coach Davis looking on at a very young D. He's had nearly half of his projected starters leave for the CFL since the start of the year. Young defense looking for their first stop of the night. Drew Powell, the shoulder fake, man wide open. Braxton Haley, another first down and then some. As he crosses the 20, finally brought down by A.J. Beach in the secondary. And that's a combination that IFL fans have gotten to know very well. Powell to Haley over the last 2 years.
This is actually Powell's third read on this play, too. He's trying to throw the ball to the left initially. If you see, it's not there. Gets all the way backside. Accurate, quick release. It's tough to defend.
A third time Powell and Haley have linked up tonight. As Drew Powell and the Rattlers lead by 7, first minute, fourth quarter.
I love that camera angle. You can kind of see it like live, like from a field view.
Oh, watch out. A tip at the line, and Macario Stanley almost came up with what surely would have been a pick 6. Looked like McCoy got his fingertip on that lob pass by Powell.
I said it needed an explosive. They almost got it. It's always a game of inches in this situation, because if they don't deflect this ball, Morion Walker is still running because he had blockers and
so Matt Elam got the deflection.
Yeah. Man, he caused a deflection, and it was almost intercepted, I think, by
number 11, Macario Stanley.
Macario. That's why we played him on defense.
Morian Walker, the intended target for Arizona. Elam on the blitz. Powell has Braxton Haley over the middle. Short of the first down, though, brings up 3rd and 2. They talk about the game of inches, Sean. That same play is actually how Arizona won in their last game. They won on a game-winning pick 6 at Tulsa. It was Sevion Lowry who picked it off. The defensive lineman on a little screen attempt took it 31 yards back with 4 seconds left. Arizona won a stunning result at Tulsa in the final seconds by 7. That was just to get to 3-3. As the fans come to their feet, 3rd and 2 for Arizona. 3 of 4 on 3rd downs tonight. 12:30 to go in the game, up by 7. Powell with time. Got another man. Miles just sits right down in the zone. And an easy pitch and catch inside the Nighthawk 10 for 1st and goal to go.
So much experience been on this Arizona team. I mean, you can just tell when an offense has run these plays 1,000 times. And they're comfortable with all the adjustments. You know, they've seen all the looks. Whereas on the Nighthawk side, you got some pieces moving around, some guys just coming back.
Here Powell hands off. Nice defense there. Walker can only get a couple. Pretty strong move by Macario. Stanley, you're totally right. Powell, 4th year as a quarterback. Braxton Haley, 3rd-year receiver. Isaiah Houston, 3rd-year receiver. Jamal Miles, 5th year. And you have Lamar Mady on the O-line in his 7th year with the team. So rare you see that amongst the IFL teams.
Yeah, and this is how they execute. Like, you can tell they've done this time and time again. They're familiar with the game. They understand the concepts, dimensions. I bet each one of these guys could get up and clinic this offense.
It's 2nd and goal at the 7 after that 2-yard run by Walker. And an empty set for Drew Powell. The pitch, it's Miles, well defended. Gabe McCoy says, get that out of here. No gain on the play, and a 3rd and goal coming up.
Great closing speed by McCoy there. For a second, it looked like the Rattlers had something, but 10 said no. I mean, watch how fast he identifies it and gets to the ball carrier. The referee was almost collateral damage over there on the sideline.
It's not an easy gig, especially in the IFL. Anybody who's on the field, refs, cheerleaders, coaches, all included. And what a big 3rd and goal this is. 48-41 Rattlers. Nighthawks defense looking for their first stop tonight as you look at Gabe McCoy. Play clock inside 3. Powell, the snap. Powell hit as he throws. Too far, looking for Houston. Good coverage on the play by A.J. Beach, and it's 4th down.
Decision time here. Do you kick the field goal and make it a 2-score game, or you go for it here?
Another good rush by Gabe McCoy. The blitz for Matt Elam forced that high throw. And it looks like the offense is staying on the field, Sean. They will not go to Craig Peterson. 3 for 7 on field goals this season. It is a number 1 plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. 4th down, and listen to the crowd. 4th and goal. 2 on the play clock. Powell under pressure. Powell gets rid of it. Incomplete. Nighthawks hold.
That's the stop they needed. That's great coverage in the secondary.
Timeout on the field. Media timeout.
Gabe McCoy has come to play in this second half. Constant pressure. Forces a tough throw out of Drew Powell. Back-to-back incompletions after only throwing 2 the first 3.5 quarters. As we hit a break, Nighthawks with the ball, down by 7, 48-41. 9:14 to go. Can the Nighthawks come from behind? They just got their first stop of the game defensively. Quarterback Daquan Neal back in the game. 48-41 Rattlers as Neal and the Nighthawks go back to work. Daquan Neal with time, goes back shoulder. Is it brought in? Yes, it is. Darius Geis up to near midfield. Really nice catch with not a whole lot of room to work with, Sean.
That was caught.
Yeah, that was tremendous, especially for a running back, man. I mean, wow. We were kind of blinded here.
The Nighthawks looking to go up tempo. Darius Geis making the catch. Nighthawks about to snap the ball as they try to go quick. Neal keeping himself, lowers the boom, going right at Dylan Winfrey, who picked him off earlier. Daquan Neal playing with some purpose. How about the confidence all night?
I got to talk to Daquan after the game. I got to teach him the okie doke. So he's already tried to run guys over 3 times. So if you just make it look like you're going to lower the shoulder and then hurdle, they're getting low because he's a loaded tackle. I got to teach. I'll tell him after the game. What do you think?
I think you should go for it.
Give him another tool for his toolbox.
Yeah. I mean, you played against guys like Gilbert Brown, where the lower the shoulder was not an option in your day. 2nd and 4 after the 6-yard pickup.
It's amazing how fast you run when you're scared.
Neal with a flag down. Recollects. Looked like there was some movement on the line, and Neal will just lean the ball up over the wall. First down for now. Nighthawks thought Arizona jumped first, and it looks like that is the call offside.
Illegal defense, number 95 of the defense, not in the stands. That foul's declined. Go to the play, first down.
Essentially the same thing as an offside. If you're out of your stance at the snap, that is also illegal defense on Chris Terrell. So Nighthawks will decline the penalty, and all of a sudden, inside 8 minutes to go, 1st and goal at the 6.
It's a little bit early there for 95.
You look at Daquan Neal running the ball. That's now 10 carries for Neal, over 120 yards tonight. Nighthawks down 7. Neal, the give. Geis lowering the boom as he gets down to about the 2. Met rudely right there by Chris Terrell as it's 2nd and goal down to the 2. And the Nighthawks have entered the prime real estate red zone presented by Knight Realty.
That was a great job by Cecil Cherry. I thought that was a walk-in touchdown.
He and Terrell really had to pinch in at the last second, right?
Well, this is a great job. Watch 52 just kind of show up. I'm thinking he's walking in, and then all of a sudden, okay.
From the 2, Neal back to Geis. He's in. Darius Geis, his 2nd touchdown of the night. Nighthawks within a point. A night to remember for Darius Geis. First game action in almost 4 years, and he has put the Nighthawks in a position to tie with 6:30 to play. Helps when you get a push like that as well from your O-line up the middle. And Stevie Artigue is on for the PAT. Hold from the backup QB Joe Mancuso, and Artigue drills it. It's been a nice bounce back game tonight for Stevie Artigue, who's been perfect on PATs. Darius Geis' long-awaited Nighthawk debut has not been a disappointment whatsoever. 2nd rushing touchdown of the night. We're tied 48 apiece as we step aside. 6:11 to play.
Yeah, that's it right there.
Boss Tugaloa and the Vegas Nighthawk defense looking on. They just came up with their first stop of the night, led to a game-tying Nighthawk touchdown, but there's 6:11 to go, Sean Kate. Tie game, 48-all. Feels like there is a whole lot more twists and turns still to come.
Come on, Ben. Let's go 4-minute offense. Get this thing over with.
Yeah, the kick from Martique. Yeah, if only it was that simple. Jamal Miles on the return. Nice tackle in the open field by Malik Honeycutt. As we remind you that the family that flies together has more fun together. Join the Nighthawks next Saturday with the family 4-pack. Get 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 drinks, and 4 mini replica TDLC arenas, all for just $34 a person. Scan that QR code right there on the screen. You can call 702-645-4259 or just email tickets at nighthawks.com. 5:40 to play. Nighthawks with 2 timeouts left. Rattlers with all 3. And again, remember with that running clock, we'll see how much time Arizona takes, but still a world of time left in this game. Drew Powell back out there. Quick throw, wide open. Braxton Haley has been his go-to man. 5th catch of the night. Both he and Miles have 5 catches. And Arizona with 4 different players tonight who have caught passes. And it seems every play, Sean, they've got that open space in the zone.
Yeah, it seems like Coach Davis is taking a bend but don't break approach on defense. And, maybe he's trying to bait, Powell into getting aggressive and throwing one in the coverage. But so far, Powell's taking the approach Rich Rodriguez taught me. You can never go broke taking a profit. So he's just taking what they give him.
2nd and 3. Powell airs it out for the end zone. Caught! Braxton Haley again. Arizona back on top.
I can't, say enough, how impressed I am with these 3 offensive linemen from the Rattlers. They just look at the pocket. He's got all day to throw the football. Outside a couple isolated Gabe McCoy rushes, the Nighthawks just have not been able to get consistent pressure on Drew Powell.
That's the best Nighthawk defender in coverage as well. Mr. Harrio couldn't keep up with the all-IFL receiver Braxton Haley. 54-48, now Arizona goes for 2. Powell looks right.
Again,
left.
All day in the pocket.
We'll just toss it up, but it's intercepted this time. Read perfectly by Malik Honeycutt as he cuts right in front of the intended target, Isaiah Houston. Rattlers retake the lead, 54-48 with 3:53 to go. As we get another look at 4th touchdown pass of the night from Drew Powell, 2nd caught by Braxton Haley.
Just great protection. Nobody is winning their one-on-one right there, Ben.
But in a game that has featured so many 2-point conversion attempts, most by Arizona, that could prove to be a very big interception by Malik Honeycutt, who we talked about earlier, Sean. 2-way player, touchdown catch, and now an interception. That's not a bad night.
Yeah, now if you're Vegas, all of a sudden you're only down 6. So touchdown extra point, you actually take the lead. I wonder if there's something wrong with the Rattler kicker. Maybe he's not fully healthy. He squib kicked every kickoff. And they have not attempted any extra points.
And Craig Peterson, it is interesting, was 6 of 7 on PATs in the last game. Did make a field goal, has made 3 this year. It is one of the more decorated kickers in the IFL. Not on the injury report of any sort coming into this game. But it's an interesting point you bring up. Has it set up in the middle, which, as you see, it's a really good look, too, of the scoreboard. And just how low it is, that Jumbotron. So if you want to go for a deuce in this venue, you have to go on one side or the other. So if you're going middle, it'll be a squib, and it is. Over the head of Harriel. Honeycutt from his own 9 can only get a few yards. Good coverage there. And that's the perfect impact of a squib that takes a couple of really high hops. Tackled by Javon Jackson. 54-48. Rattlers on top of the Nighthawks as we near the 3.5-minute mark. And for DeQuan Neal and the Nighthawks, Sean, outside of one end zone interception, it's been a flawless performance.
Yeah, I agree. And listen, a lot of time, clock's still running, about 3 minutes left. But if you'd ask Coach Davis, listen, you're going to have the ball under 3 minutes left in the 4th quarter with a chance to take the lead. I think he would have said okay, because that means that we've been productive offensively. We've at least played even with Drew Powell and what a lot of people consider the best offense in the IFL with this Rattlers.
1 on the play clock. Neal just gets the snap off, keeps it himself, and is hit around the ankle. Chris Terrell read it the whole way for a big loss.
Yeah, it just took too long to develop. And again, I think that's because they got some new pieces here. That's normally Sap Lynch at running back. There's Geis tonight. It just took too long. I don't know if Geis is supposed to block the end there coming off the edge. So I like the pieces tonight for the Nighthawks, but you can see there's still a little indecision because of the lack of continuity on some of the execution parts.
Under 2.5 minutes to play. Nighthawks backed up 4 yards after that attempted keep by Neal went nowhere. Down by 6, 54-48. Amidst a very bunched up Western Conference. We'll update you some of the big scoring notes from tonight when we have a moment. Neal with an empty set. Goes quick. It's bobbled and caught. Randolph was never touched. He gets up and he might go. Randolph inside the 5. What a catch and run. And the awareness from Quentin Randolph makes it first and goal to go for the Nighthawks.
Another one of those Florida boys, by the way, Ben, but what an effort. What a tremendous effort. Look at the awareness, the football IQ to know that he wasn't touched. And at the end of this, he really gave it 110%. Now, he was moving. He was doing over 30 miles per hour right there, Ben.
And wondering if head coach Kevin Guy, based on that replay, would throw the red hanky, and he has. Challenges out from Arizona.
It looked
Arizona
close.
Was challenging that the runner was touched down. Timeout.
Regardless, it's a smart challenge by Kevin Guy, just given the time score situation, especially with 2 challenges still to use. 1:29 to go. Nighthawks, if it stands, will enter the prime real estate red zone presented by the Knight Realty Group. If not, they'll still have a first down up to near mid. It would be basically a first down based on where that catch was made at about midfield. And so Gary Reed, our head ref, will take a look. And it did look really close upon our first glance.
Cherry's coming. I don't think he touches him. The interesting one was when Jaravian Anderson claps right there, does he actually get a piece of Quentin?
Call on the field was there was no
After
contact.
further video review, the ruling on the field was confirmed. The runner was not touched. He got up, continued to run. He's down inside the 2-yard line. First to go, Nighthawks.
And Gary Reed saw all he needed to on those 2 looks, Sean. So your initial thought ends up being the case. No contact,
Arizona
even on a really close play.
Timeout.
So much at stake. First and goal to 2 for the Nighthawks, now down by 6.
And the coaching point, for all you young defenders out there, why even risk it? Why be cute? Make it clear that, you're touching the ball here so that he's down.
By the way, clock in the arena has not yet started. So we'll reset that on our end. 1:29 to go, 25 on the play clock. So there'll be one more play run, and then we'll get the 1-minute warning inside the building. Arizona and Vegas each with 2 timeouts now. Each coach has used one of their 2 challenges. Nighthawks down 6, threatening.
If you're Vegas, do you want to score here on first down?
Neal will hand off. Geis in. There is a flag down. If it holds, that's the 3rd rushing touchdown of the night for Darius Geis.
That touchdown presented by Arizona.
There's no foul on the play for illegal blitz by Arizona. Nighthawks ran the football. Ruling on the field's touchdown.
They pick up the flag, and Geis has a hat trick in his Nighthawk debut. Tie game at 54 with 1:22 to play. Sean, it's a really interesting point you bring up about scoring too quickly. I just wonder if at this point in the game, you don't want to get too cute, and you have to worry about getting the points first and worrying about the time later.
That's true. Not right or wrong, just wanted to bring it up.
Artigue with the PAT to give Vegas the lead.
He
knocks it home, and we've reached the 1-minute warning. Stevie Artie gives Vegas a 55-54 lead with 60 seconds to go. What drama inside the Dollar Loan Center. Nighthawks 55, Rattlers 54.
What a finish we have in store. Nighthawks lead by 1. Stevie Artigue with the low squib goes up against the wall. Forces Jamal Miles to take it on a couple hops as he charges forward, brought down across the 15. 55 seconds to go. Nighthawks 55, Rattlers 54. As we take a look at the updated standings in the Western Conference, we're the last game of the night, Sean, and this week in the IFL, a lot of big developments in the standings. The Northern Arizona Wranglers just beat Bay Area 35-34 to take solo first in the Western Conference. So if Arizona wins tonight, they move into a tie for second with Bay Area. But if they lose, then the standings get a whole lot murkier, where you'd have if a Nighthawk win, you'd have a 3-way tie for the final playoff spot in the Western Conference. Tucson, by the way, was upset earlier tonight on the road in Duke City. So the Sugar Skulls, after a 3-0 start, are 3-3. Duke City improves to 3-4. With that, Drew Powell, the 1st and 10 snap. Quick throw. Haley couldn't hang on. Incomplete as he got plastered by Malik Honeycutt by the wall.
Oh, there goes that Florida boy again. Malik is proven. I mean, he's Swiss Army knife tonight. You know, special teams, offense. Now comes this a critical, PBU right here, because it puts Arizona behind the chains. Crowd starting to get into it. The mascots in the end zone firing people up.
Head coach Mike Davis looking on with the defensive instructions. 52 seconds left. Powell, just his 6th incompletion of the night. Blitz comes. Powell running out of time. It's intercepted. Jeff Edgecombe. .45 seconds to go. What a play by the Army vet, now a Nighthawk DB, Jeff Edgecombe.
Yeah, way to finish it off, but the Western line defensive front created it by the pressure. They finally got pressure on Drew Powell, forced him to make a decision under duress. They capitalized. Watch, this is a good job here. McCoy's going to flush him out of the pocket. Macario has contained. Great job of the Nighthawks defense. They fought and clawed tonight. Everything hadn't gone their way. Still playing with great energy.
First career interception, not only as a pro, but at any level above high school for Jeff Edgecombe. 45 seconds left. Keep in mind, Arizona still has 2 timeouts. Now, DeQuan Neal will take a knee. Timeout is immediately called. But remember, it's a 25-second play clock in the IFL.
Second half, 30 seconds in limit.
So Vegas,
I thought
they can't just simply take a knee
Yeah, I
here.
thought it was strange that they didn't at least run a play, like and try and gain positive yardage there. Because the first down absolutely ends the game. Now, I'm not a mathematician here, but I'm going to presume that this second timeout will be called with, if they're just going to kneel it, 39 seconds. So even if you run off the 25 after that, you still got, 14-second difference, right?
You would have to run a play on fourth down. So if you think about it, if the Nighthawks are able to run, let's just call it 5 seconds off the clock on the next play, you'd run a third down play with 37 seconds left. If you ran another 5, you'd end the play at 32. So you'd basically be in a situation where you'd have anywhere from 5 to 7 seconds to run off on fourth down. Neal again takes a knee, and less than a second comes off the clock. So exactly what you're saying, Sean, is now manifest. 42 seconds left. That's the last timeout by Arizona. And really what this will come down to now on third down is how long from when the play ends will they start the 25-second play clock, and how much time will the Nighthawks have to presumably burn on fourth down. Remember, there's no punting, so you have to do something on fourth down. What a swing game, though, for both of these teams' seasons. Arizona getting their star QB wide receiver duo back tonight. I'm sure many Rattler fans, Sean, just assumed that would be the kickstart this team needed in 3-3, while the Nighthawks felt their season slipping away, losing 2 straight at 2-4.
Yeah, it's been that kind of game. A game, full of desperation, basically. Both teams, knowing that they need to get a win. Two teams that not just playoff expectations, but I think, especially Arizona, but I think in some ways, with the acquisitions they had this offseason, Vegas considered themselves a legitimate championship contender.
Thank you.
It's always the expectation, especially from the Arizona side, who have finished either first or second in their division/conference each of the last 13 seasons, going back to 2008. So the officials did take one more second off the clock. We have 41 seconds to go. Neal will back up, trying to take more time, and now the clock will continue to roll. No timeouts left for Arizona, and all eyes go to the Jumbotron. When will they start the 25-second play clock? If it doesn't start now, this game is over, and it will be just that. The Vegas Nighthawks come from behind in the fourth quarter to stun the Arizona Rattlers 55-54, a signature win for the second-year franchise, the Vegas Nighthawks. And I don't think Kevin Guy was a fan of the lack of a play clock starting.
He has every right to be upset. I don't know if I've seen that one before, Ben.
I'm with you, but it's now over. I really can't believe they didn't start the play clock, but it is over.
It's in the history books.
And with that, we have ourselves a logjam in the Western Conference. Vegas snaps the 2-game losing streak. They go to 3-4, and the Rattlers' up and down season continues as they drop to 3-4 as we near the halfway mark of this 15th IFL season. So much for us to get to on the postgame show. Stick with us. But it's a signature win. The Nighthawks snap the losing streak, winning 55-54 over the Arizona Rattlers.